Hello students, through this video we shall discuss third chapter of history from gathering to growing food. Around 2 million years ago, people were described as hunter-gatherers because they hunted wild animals. They gathered food from trees, and archaeologists have found some of the things that hunter-gatherers made and used, and that things were actually the stone tools. So, archaeologists have given lengthy names for the time that we are studying. That is the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. This Paleolithic age, the name points to the importance of finds of the stone tools. This Paleolithic period extends from 2 million years ago to about 12,000 years ago. And this long stretch of time is divided into three categories: upper, middle, lower. This long span of time covers 99% of human history, and this is also called as the longest stone age. The word paleo origin from the two Greek words. Paleo means old, lithos means stone. It means oldest stone age. This Paleolithic age is basically about the life of hunter and gatherers. But 12,000 years ago, the period when we find environmental changes, then the beginning of new age started, which was called as Mesolithic age, and it lasted till 10,000 years ago. So this Mesolithic age, the word comes from the two Greek words. This meso means middle, lithos means stone. It means middle stone age, and stone tools found during this period are generally small and are called microlith. So from 10,000 years ago, the another stage started, that was Neolithic age, and it also comes from the two new words. Neo means new, lithos means stone. It means new stone age. And again here we saw the changes in the stone tools. Like in the Paleolithic age, the tools were big, and by the Mesolithic age the tools became small in size, and in the Neolithic age they started polishing the stone tools. So on the basis of the stone tools, these three lengthy names are given by the archaeologist. Now this we have done that around 12,000 years ago there were major changes in the climate of the world with the shift to relatively warm condition. So that was the beginning of the Mesolithic age, as well as the beginning of the farming and herding, because in the Paleolithic age the people were hunter gatherers only. They were totally dependent upon hunting the wild animals and gathering the food from the trees. Then this Mesolithic age, around 12,000 years ago, a big change happened, that is shift to relatively climate in the world. Then it led to the development of grassland. This in turn increase in grass eating animals, increase in the number of goat, sheep and cattle, because these animals survived on grass. And due to this, slowly and gradually they learned that the animals, the products which they got from the animals could be used as a food. So they started thinking about herding and rearing animals. And the another change, due to the development of grassland that happened, that grain bearing grasses like rice, wheat and barley grew naturally, and people started observing that procedures of felling the seeds from the automatically grown crops, and then the new plants sprouted from them, and perhaps they began looking after plants. protecting them from birds and animals so that they could grow and the seeds could ripen. In this way people became farmers, or we can say that this development of grassland led to farming. Now the steps for the herding. People, this we know that people observed the animals or observed the products that they got from the animals could be used as a food. So people started taming animals by leaving food for them near shelters. They used to keep the food for the animals. In this way they encouraged animals that were gentle and ate grass. It means that they started herding those animals who were dependent upon the grass, such as sheep, goat and cattle. And also they protected these animals from wild animals, and this is how they became herders. But this is very surprising to know that the first animal which they tamed was the wild ancestor of the dog. Here you can see the picture also. Means before taming sheep, cattle and goat, they tamed wild ancestor of the dog, and later on they encourage other animals for the domestication. Now what is domestication? In simple word, looking after plants and looking after animals. That process is called the domestication. So the process in which people grow plants and look after animals, that is called domestication. Now domesticated plants and animals were different from the wild ones. Why? People observed the plants and animals and they chose the plants which should not prone to disease, and even the animals also, and they select those plants that yield large size grains, and for that they select gentle animals for domestication also. To know more about domestication, domestication was a gradual process, very slow process that began about 12,000 years ago, means when the Mesolithic age was started. So with the Mesolithic age, the domestication process was started. And with the domestication, they came to know that all the plant and animal produce that they got can be used in the form of a food, or it can be used for the storage purpose. It can be used for the future use also. And today also whatever we eat in the form of plant and animal produce, we used as food, that is the result of domestication. And earliest plants to be domesticated were wheat and barley by them, and the earliest animals, here animals, to be domesticated were sheep and goat. Now, with the beginning of the farming and herding, a new way of life was started, which was called as settled life. Now, in the Paleolithic age, the early man was living a nomadic life because the life was dependent upon hunting and gathering. So they keep on moving from one place to another in search of food or in search of animal. But now the people began growing plants. It meant that they had to stay in the same place for a long time, looking after the plants, watering, weeding, driving away animals and birds till the grain ripened. So they need to stay at one place. Hence, this was the beginning of settled or permanent life. Now they were no more nomads now. But it didn't happen everywhere. This was a gradual process. People started living at one place, but this didn't happen all over the places. At some places the people were still dependent upon hunting and gathering. Now, whatever they produce from the grains or whatever they got from the animals, that need to be stored. Means like the produced grain could be used as a food, it could be used as a seed, then stored for future use also. So the produced grain need storage, and for food storage they used large clay pots. The picture is given. Then they used woven basket, and they dug pits into the ground, means a hole in the ground where they could store the grain. And animals they also used as a storage, but they knew that animals multiply naturally. Besides, if they looked the animals carefully, because the animals provided milk to them, and the source of food in the form of meat also whenever required. So animals, by this time they came to know that if they reared animals carefully, they could be used as a store of food. So they protected they reared the animals as a store of food. Now, how do archaeologists find out the evidence of farmers and herders? To find out whether all the sites the people started the farming and herding, they study evidence of plant and animal bones. They have found remains of burnt grains, and scientists can identify these grains, and so we know that a number of crops were grown in different parts of the continent. They can also identify the bones of different animals. Besides that, they have found traces of huts or houses at some sites, and one such site is Burzohom, which in present-day Kashmir. Here people built pit houses which were dug into the ground with steps leading into them. And here the archaeologists have also found cooking earths both inside and outside the huts, which suggest that depending on the weather, people could cook food either indoors or outdoors. So on the basis of these evidence, the archaeologists are able to collect the information about the Mesolithic age or about the farming and herding. Now the next age was started about 10,000 years ago, or we can say that was the end of the Mesolithic period. So moving to Neolithic period. In the Neolithic period, the basic change was change in the stone tools. Like the stone tools discovered are different in the Paleolithic tools. Whatever the stone tools were discovered in the Paleolithic age, that was entirely different from the Neolithic tools, because in Neolithic age tools were polished to give a fine cutting edge. And one such example is of mortars and pestles. They used for grinding grain and other plant produced, and even today also we used mortars and pestles for grinding spices and grain. But at the same time, tools of the Paleolithic types continued to be made and used. And beside the stone tools, the tools were made of bone as well. Then the next evidence for the Neolithic period was that many kind of earthen pots have been found, and these were sometimes decorated and were used for storing things. People began using pots for cooking food, especially grains like rice, wheat, that now became an important part of the diet. Besides, they began weaving cloth, using different kinds of material, for example cotton, that could now be grown. So we can say that by this time they were in a condition or in a situation where they were able to grow the cotton as well. But did things change everywhere and all at once? Not quite. In many areas, earlier also I told you that in many areas men and women still continue to hunt and gather food, and elsewhere people adopted farming and herding slowly. So over several thousand years, besides, in some cases, people try to combine these activities, doing different things during different season. Now let's have a case study of Mehergarh. First of all, it's a fertile plain near Bolan Pass, and regarding location, it is in Iran, one of the important route into Iran. Then for the first time, Mehergarh was probably one of the places where women and men learned to grow barley and wheat and rear sheep and goats for the first time in this area. And it is one of the earliest villages that we know about. Now, archaeologists who excavated the site found evidence of many kinds of animal bones. The bones of wild animals like deer and pig, the bones of domesticated animals like sheep and goat. Other finds at Mehergarh include remains of square or rectangular houses. Each house had 4 or more compartments, some of which may have been used for storage, and the picture is given of a house, and this is what a house in Mehergarh may have looked like with the 4 compartments or more than 4 compartments. Then regarding the burial, there was a belief of life after death, means they believed that life existed after death. And in Mehergarh, when people die, their relatives and friends paid respect to them, and for that they try to bury some of the items with the dead person, because they believed in the life after death. And here I have given the picture of one such burial site where the dead person was buried along with several things. And several burial sites have been found at Mehergarh, and this was just one instance, this picture, where the dead person was buried with goats, which were goats and some kind of other items also, which were probably meant to serve the person in the next world. So this is all about this chapter. Thank you for listening me. Have a nice day.